Good morning, econ students. Today, nothing new. What we're just going to do is do a couple more practice problems with comparative advantage, including going over the most missed one from yesterday's homework. I just want to make sure we understand, and probably the biggest trick with these is figuring out, okay, first, is this an input problem or is this an output problem? And then second, remembering output goes over, input goes under. Okay, so let's look at, make sure I get my worksheet, US and Scotland. Okay, so US and Scotland problem from yesterday, which was the most missed one from the homework. So, US and Scotland, let's see, set it up 3 and 4, 2 and 5. Now, notice the first thing you should take a look at is that top line there where it says hours per oats and hours per BP's bagpipes. Okay. Now, because we're talking about hours per oats, how long does it take for them to process a ton of oats? How many hours does it take for them to make a bagpipe? This is an input problem. Okay, so in an input problem, you're looking for resource over product. Okay, resource. How long does it take to make something? How many workers does it take to produce a bagpipe? How many other resources, bolts of cloth does it take to make a bagpipe? Things like that. Okay, so because this is an input problem with absolute advantage, it's smaller. Okay, so the US would have an absolute advantage in oats because it only takes them 3 hours to process a ton of oats. Scotland is 4, 3 is less than 4. In an input problem, remember, absolute advantage is smaller. Same thing with bagpipes. It only takes the US 2 hours to make a bagpipe, or workers in the US 2 hours to make a bagpipe. Clearly less than 5 hours in Scotland. Okay, so this is an input problem. US has the absolute advantage in both. For comparative advantage, remember, we're looking for who can do it the best and who maybe isn't the best at it but can still benefit from trade, because remember, both sides are supposed to benefit from trade. Who else can produce something and bring something to the table? So with input problems, we go under. 2 goes under 3. 3 goes under 2. Like so. 4 goes under 5. 5 goes under 4. Okay, like so. And then remember, we compare up and down. So who has the lower opportunity? Remember, who has the lower opportunity cost? Okay, so comparative advantage is always smaller. So 4/5 smaller than 3/2. Okay, so Scotland should make oats, and 2/3 is less than 5/4. The US should make bagpipes. And really, one thing to think about with this sort of trade, if you have a comparative advantage, this is what you should make. Okay, and then you trade for what you can't make. So Scotland should make oats. The US should make bagpipes. The US should import oats from Scotland, and Scotland should import bagpipes from the US. So the US, if you have a comparative advantage in something, you should make it and export it. Trade for the stuff you can't get it as easily. Okay, that's kind of one of the lessons. We're skipping unit 6, but that's something that comes up a lot. You export the things you have a comparative advantage in. Excuse me. One thing that, and this could be fair game because this connects to unit 1, is when we trade, you might remember that curve, and we'll be revisiting that a little bit later in this unit. This is a production possibilities curve. That when we have a production possibilities curve, that means there's trade-offs. Whenever we make more oats, we get less bagpipes. Whenever we make more bagpipes, we get less oats. And that's that idea, again, of opportunity cost, how opportunity cost plays a role in all of this. And what they found is that if we trade, we can concentrate on making oats and we can get more bagpipes. Or we concentrate on making bagpipes, we can get more oats. So this idea of international trade can actually lead to economic growth. Now, we talked about really technology and resources being the things that lead to economic growth, but really trade can as well. Okay, it allows us to focus our resources on what we're best at and trade for the things we're not as good at. Okay, it allows us to produce, we get more bagpipes and more oats. Okay, so trade can really help with economic growth in that sense. Just real quick review, let's do an output problem. Let me just write this down here. Remember, an output problem is product over resource. So how much are we actually producing? That's an output problem. Whereas input is resource over product. Okay, so that's kind of an easy way to remember this stuff. Output, product over resource, input, resource over product. How much are we making versus how long is it taking us to make something, or how many resources is it taking us to make something. So hours per bagpipe is an input problem. So let's do an output problem. Let's say we're going to face off today. We'll have Grace and Alyssa, one of the Alyssas. And let's say they're making jelly beans per hour and Twizzlers per hour. Okay, so that would be an output problem. You know, when you're looking at today's homework assignment, you know, if it's the product per hour, or product per day, or product per worker, that's an output problem. Okay, so let's say Grace makes 10 jelly beans per hour and 50 Twizzlers per hour. Alyssa makes, I don't know, 5 jelly beans per hour and 30 Twizzlers per hour. Okay, so a problem like that, Grace would have the absolute advantage because it's output absolute advantage, you're looking for bigger. Okay, Grace produces more jelly beans and Twizzlers, therefore she has the absolute advantage in both jelly beans and Twizzlers. For comparative advantage, output goes over. Okay, so 50 goes over 10. 10 goes over 50, like that. Okay, 30 goes over 5. 5 goes over 30. Okay, and fun with fractions. It might just be easier for you to reduce this. So this is 50 over 10 is 5. 30 over 5 is 6. 1/5. 1/6. Okay, and then very complicated math. Compare up and down. So Grace produces, or it's 5. Her opportunity cost of making a jelly bean is 5 Twizzlers. Okay, so 5 is less than 6. So Grace would have the comparative advantage in jelly beans, and you already automatically know you can have a comparative advantage in both. If you have it in one, the other person or country has it in the other. So Alyssa would have 1/6 is less than 1/5. Alyssa has the comparative advantage in Twizzlers. Grace should make jelly beans. Alyssa should make Twizzlers. Okay, and they should trade accordingly. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions. If you want clarification on today's homework, what's an input problem or an output problem, just shoot me an email throughout the day. Best of luck, and we'll see you tomorrow.